Hey guys, welcome back. My brother Jones and I, we just took off my carburetor to put a new gasket on. Turns out the previous gasket on it was leaking air. So, we're just retightening our studs to make sure we could get full engagement so we can have our carburetor nice and tight. Now, the whole purpose of this video is carburetors. Most people don't know what a carburetor is or the function of a carburetor. And since we have mine off, I decided, why not start a video on carburetors? So, I'll walk through the outside first, and then I'll discuss each function of it. Simple overview of a carburetor is air goes through the choke horn. This is a 2-barrel. 4 barrels are different, and I will talk to you guys about that in a later video. But this is a 2-barrel carburetor. If you flip it over, 1, 2 barrels. The carburetor's job is for when you're turning the engine over. Air goes through the 2 barrels, atomizes, because gasoline burns as a vapor. Liquid gasoline does not burn. To get gas into vapor, you use something called a Venturi effect. So while air is going through it, air pulls the fuel from the carburetor, turns it into a mist, goes through your intake manifold into your combustion chamber. And that's all its job. The carburetor's sole purpose is to mix air and fuel together. Starting with fuel. You have a few circuits on this that help the carburetor and your car run. This is your pre-filter. Fuel from your gas tank goes to the fuel pump. For this one, it was a mechanical fuel pump, right down there. Where it's hanging off the block, off that bolt right there. That's the mechanical one. We bypassed that with an electric one, so it's not hooked up. But fuel goes from the gas tank to the fuel pump to your carburetor. Goes through here and fills it up. You have a needle and a seat and a float. Once the proper amount of gas is reached, float goes, closes it off, so now it won't let any more fuel in. If you get in your car one day, especially with a carburetor, and you get in the car and you try and start it, and fuel is coming out of these breather vents right here, your needle and float are stuck in the open position. And the fastest way, and the most common way to fix it, is to go over and, well, shit. Where the fuck is it? Well, basically, there it is. Screwdriver. So, with the car, having your buddy in the car, you just hit it where the float is. Bang on the top and bang on the side, it will dislodge whatever stuck the needle, and then it's able to close it, and then the fuel will stop coming out of here, and you won't have a flooded carburetor or flooded engine. That's the whole purpose of that. This doohickey right here, and this is the thing that makes people scared of carburetors. They really don't know or understand what this is. And this is called an accelerator pump. Over here is your pedal. This is what... come to that in a second. But this is your accelerator pedal. This is what makes you go vroom vroom down the road. So, if you look in there, while I'm turning it, see the throttle blades open? Actually, I could do it on the side real quick. See on how the throttle blades open and close. And when that's opening and closing, Jones, can you hold the camera real quick? Just hold it right there for me. So, well, opens and closes as you actuate the throttle. Vroom vroom time, now you're at full throttle. But the problem is, since you have a vacuum going through the carburetor, it's going to need an extra amount of air and extra amount of fuel. Well, since the blades are already open, it has the air, but it doesn't have enough fuel because the vacuum changed rapidly. This accelerator pump is a little pump with diaphragm, and from the float bowl fills it up with gasoline. So anytime you hit the throttle, the arm goes in, right here actuates the pump and shoots fuel out of these 4 jets right here, dumping all the fuel into the throttle body, which is down here, and atomizing it instantly. And that helps you get on the road and go to Mach 1 from 0. That's basically how it works. Second part of this is your choke. So on a nice cold day like today, around 25 degrees, you will have it on choke. There's 2 functions of this: high idle circuit and enriching the mixture for easier starting. What is a high idle circuit, you say? Well, if you look down here, not sure if you can see that. Focus, you fuck. You have little blades right there. That allows extra fuel to be drawn into the air. With this, it's called the high idle, and that's how your engine goes from your normal RPM range of 600 at idle to around 1200 to heat the engine up and keep it going, just to get it started and heat it up. So when you pull it off choke and you bleep the throttle, when you pull it off choke, can you show it right here? So we're gonna take it off choke, and then once you hit the throttle, see that lever that dropped down? That just closed the high idle circuit, and then you're back at an idle circuit to where you're supposed to be running at 600 RPM. That's how it basically works. High idle circuit and choke. Rich in the mixture, get the car started, preheated, so when you're ready to drive, you just pull your choke cable, open it up, hit the throttle, now you're at idle, and you're ready to go. That would be enough for today's lesson.